The questions that you say, well, will get answered favorably to us are unknown, and so you're willing to consummate a transaction and then see if we do well after the fact. And I don't think that we're that rushed to do that. That's number one. Number two, if Mr. Meck wants to continue his business, which, by the way, I toured his facility with him. I was very impressed with what he was doing. On that scale, with what he had, I thought that was wonderful. If he wants to increase it, I don't see why he couldn't bid at the courthouse along with anybody else who wanted to operate a business and pay a fair market value, which would be the fall of the hammer on an auction. Those are the questions I have, and I also understand and still think that there's a lot of controversy in that community about what the community's vision is of itself, what Greenbank thinks of itself. I hate to turn that decision over to people who live in Greenbrier County to tell us what they think the community of Greenbank ought to be. I think that somehow we need to have that dialogue.
There are 4 members on the GVEDC board from Pocahontas County.
Right.
And if not one talked to people.
Actually, I'm sorry, there are 5 people in there.
Not one have talked to any of these people because I asked them.
What are their names? Who are they?
Philip Kane, Joel Rosenthal, I'm sorry, my apologies. Joel Collison. Robin Mutchler, myself, and Charlie Sheets. If you would like, oh, before I forget, I do want to tell you that the, I guess I'll tell you after we finish the motion. Sorry, I'm getting out of order.
That's all I have to say about it.
Okay, any further discussion?
Well, David, I'd like to make one more comment.
Okay.
The GVEDC meetings are public meetings, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to.
So I would encourage anybody that wants to voice your opinion to them as to how they're going to make their decision and the restrictions and the price and all that to attend that meeting. I mean, it's a public meeting just like we're sitting right here.
Yes.
May I address that? The problem with that is the GVEDC's agendas are unclear. They only say old business and new business, and so there is no way to know at which meeting this would be discussed.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. That's a good point. They are kind of vague on that. The next meeting is March 15th at 3 p.m. at the Ray Hall Technology Center in Max Welton at the airport. Near the very near the airport. Yes, you can attend, and if we vote in the affirmative today, then that'll be the next step. I will talk with Steve Weir, and if well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Any further comments on the motion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carries 2-1. Okay. I will contact Steve Weir and advise him that we have voted to have this land transferred, and I'll get him to communicate back to me at which meeting, whether it's March 15th coming up or the meeting in April, that this will be discussed, and we'll get that word out to the press and to the website. Thank you. Okay.
Will you come back? Will you come back to the county commission for ratification of whatever the deal comes down from them? Or is this it?
I think if the GVEDC board decides to sell, then that's it.
Okay, so that's over. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.